Tonight on the Chevrolet Sports Night, training camp is here for the Carolina Panthers. We're going to take you live to Spartanburg for all the excitement and clue you in on the top storylines to watch for and who's really good without pads. Also, UNC Greensboro, well, they ran into a little bit of trouble with the NCAA. Why all of the Spartan sports teams will be on probation next season, that's no double secret. Plus, does it get any worse when you lose your franchise player in free agency? For the Charlotte Hornets, the answer may be yes. We're going to give you the details on that, plus much more. Chevrolet Sports Night starts now.
This is the Chevrolet Sports Night.
Now, welcome into the Chevrolet Sports Night. I am Mike Topper, and you know, training camp kind of reminds me of when Billy Madison sang about back to school. And for the Carolina Panthers, well, they're out to prove to everybody that they're no fools, especially after missing the playoffs last year. Now, the first day of training camp is just the beginning of a long season ahead and the first step to forgetting kind of disappointing finish to the 2018 season. So we're going to go live to Spartanburg, South Carolina. That is where Sports Director Mike Solarte is standing by. Mike, how goes it tonight?
Well, Michael, it goes quite well, and interesting that you point out to 2018 season where the Panthers through the first 9 weeks of the season were 6-2, and everybody was starting to make play. Chevrolet Sports Night. He's Jason Brown. I'm Mike Solarte. Tope, let's go back to you.
All right, fellas, appreciate the good knowledge. Looking forward to hearing that. Ooh, Will Greer news. I like it. That's going to lead us to our Twitter poll of the night. And we want to know quite simply from you which new Panthers player is going to have the biggest impact this season. Now, the biggest betting money is on Gerald McCoy, but we also gave you Matt Paradis, Bruce Irvin, as well as Brian Burns. You can log into @sports_night, cast your vote, leave a comment before logging off. And again, we're going to check back in with Mike Solarte and Jason Brown before we get out of here. Let's turn our attention to college basketball now. And as far as UNC Greensboro, well, they're going to be on probation for 3 years after an NCAA investigation. In an announcement Thursday afternoon, the university provided a summary of the findings, which were based on self-reported violations. Now, at the forefront is former women's basketball assistant coach, Phil Collins. Collins admitted that he had gambled on both professional and collegiate sports, including at least 4 single-game bets and 10 parlays involving the UNCG men's basketball team. Collins told the NCAA that he lost $20,000 to $30,000 on his wagers. Apparently, Phil Collins, well, he can't dance, he can't sing, and can't pick a winner. The university says the men's basketball program was not involved in this issue. Now, the probation, which went into effect on Thursday, will end on July 24th, 2022, and carries a one-time $15,000 fine. Meanwhile, UNCG men's soccer coach E.J. O'Keefe, he resigned earlier this week, just 6 months after he was hired. Athletics Director Kim Recker declined to comment on that investigation. Let's talk some college pigskin. Watch list mania continues across the country, and on Thursday, the jack-of-all-trades types got their due. Daz Newsome of North Carolina was named to the watch list for the Paul Hornung Award, which is given annually to the nation's most versatile player. Newsome scored as a receiver, a rusher, and returner for the Tar Heels as a sophomore, tallying more than 1,100 all-purpose yards. Now, he figures to be one of the primary targets under new head coach Mack Brown this season. Interesting to note, though, Duke running back Deion Jackson, who was a preseason All-ACC pick as an all-purpose player, he did not make the Hornung watch list. Now, one other player who did make it, Appalachian State's Darrington Evans. Evans also a candidate for the Maxwell and Doak Walker Awards. As a sophomore, he ran for nearly 1,200 yards and was one of the nation's most electric kick returners. Hard to bring down, as you see there. In fact, he ranks second in the nation with more than 32 yards per return. Also released Thursday, the watch list for the Danny Werfel Award, otherwise known as the Heisman Trophy for Community Service. Evans once again recognized there, as well as Charlotte 49ers defensive end Tyreek Harris, Duke linebacker Kobe Kwanzaa, and Wake Forest running back Cade Carney. To college buckets, and something tells me that Zion Williamson fella, he could be pretty good. Pretty good. Shoe companies seem to agree. The #1 overall pick signed his first professional shoe deal with Jordan Brand on Tuesday, and it appears he got a record-breaking payday along with it. According to several reports, Williamson's new partnership with Jordan Brand is now the richest annual rookie deal in NBA history. The previous record was held by LeBron James with a reported 7-year, $90 million deal with Nike. Do the math, comes out to around $13 million a year. Zion's deal is rumored to be 5 years, $75 million, which would beat out the King by more than $2 million per season. Now, the NBA offseason has not been kind to the Charlotte Hornets, who lost their top 2 scorers from last season in Kemba Walker and Jeremy Lamb. And according to newly released expected win totals, looks like all of next season, it's not going to go according to odds makers at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. The Hornets have the lowest over-under mark in the league at just 24 wins. That's tied with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Hornets have won 24 or fewer games 6 times in history. 3 of them happened during the original Hornets' first 3 seasons, and the other 3 happened when the franchise was still known as the Charlotte Bobcats. Positively, though, at the top of the league, 7 teams open with a win total at 50 or higher. Calder, are you paying attention? The Milwaukee Bucks led the way with 57, followed by the LA Clippers with 55.5, 76ers 54.5, the Utah Jazz 52.5, and the Rockets and Nuggets at 52 wins. The LA Lakers with AD and LeBron James 51.5 games. We're going to need to hit our first timeout, but up next we've got plenty more out of the NFL. Who's not at camp and who just plain old missed the plane? We got all that and more as the Chevrolet Sports Night returns in a bit.